Well, it shouldn't come as any surprise to hear that the #1 New Year's resolution, live a healthier lifestyle. But what about our kids?
Yeah, the new year is a great time for parents to reassess their family's well-being, especially now with COVID cases surging and some schools returning to remote learning. Parents really need to make sure kids' mental and physical health is in check.
Yeah, it's really so important. Well, board-certified pediatrician Dr. Joel Gator-Warsh is here to help make that happen for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Well, let's jump in and talk about this. What are 5 things that you have that families can do to just kind of have a healthier 2022?
I think it all starts with food. So #1 is really just buying real food. When you go to the grocery store, thinking about getting fresh produce, organic wherever you can, and shopping locally whenever you can. Also cooking more as a family. I think, if we can even cook one more meal a week, then we know exactly what goes into that food, and you're decreasing the chemicals and the sugar and the toxins and other things that you get from those packaged goods. #3 would be reading food labels. It's just so important to know exactly what we're feeding our kids, and we want to get out as much of the junk from our foods as possible. And so just turn over the box or whatever you're buying, look at the label and make sure that there are words on there that you know. #4, we got to make sure we're getting enough sleep. There's so many stressful things that have been going on for the last couple of years, and especially when it comes back to school time, it can drift a little bit in terms of how much we're sleeping. So just reminding our kids to get back and get the adequate amount of sleep that they need. And then also, especially in the winter, we know that we don't get outside nearly as much. We're not getting the vitamin D that our bodies need. So whenever you can, get outside and go for a walk, or just make sure we're getting in a little sunlight.
Yeah, these are great because it's all about habits, right? And that leads me to my next question. How do you start new habits that are fun for kids and really gets the whole family involved?
#1 is we have to practice what we preach, right? And we can't expect our kids to be going outside and going for walks by themselves. We got to do it ourselves, and we have to get out and show them that it's fun, and try to find ways that are fun for them. We don't necessarily want to just shove a piece of broccoli in front of our 2-year-old. They might not eat it, but we can make it a little bit more fun. We can get them involved. We can, if they're old enough, you can ask them or take them shopping with you and say like, oh, let's use the rainbow. Maybe we can pick one red food and one blue food and one green food, and let's see what we can make with that. So just getting them involved and making it fun.
Well, question, do you have advice for parents on how to communicate the importance of healthy lifestyle? Because that's not always easy to get that across with kids.
Yeah, it depends on the age. I think for every age, it's a little bit different. But #1, it comes from modeling and just showing them. And then also #2, it's just making it fun and reminding them in terms that they understand. So if they're not, so old, then you can just talk about, we don't want to get sick and we want to stay healthy. And so these are the things that we need to do to get big and strong, or these are the things that we need to do to go to soccer and to score that goal. Use the terms and the things that really work for them and that they understand, and then work some of those concepts in, because it's not that complicated. I mean, we all know diet, exercise, sleep, these things are all important, but we have forgotten about that, I think, a lot, and we've forgotten about how important the foundations are with everything that's been going on in the last couple of years. So it's just about refocusing back to some of these things and making it a priority in the new year.
Right. And Doctor, I've heard a lot of mommy bloggers on social media talking about 2022 being the year that they want to transition the food in their family, meaning transitioning to gluten-free or vegan, vegetarian. How do you start that process of transitioning without kids being caught completely off guard?
#1, I think you just let them know, and especially for parents who are doing the purchasing, you're the one going to the store and purchasing the food, and if there isn't junk food in the house, and they can't really eat it. So it's just about making a change and informing them of why we're making that change. And they might not be happy for a couple of days or for a few weeks, but after, when they are big and strong, then they're going to appreciate it. So you just got to do what you got to do sometimes as a parent.
So basically just remind them who's paying for the food.
Who's in charge?
Right.
Exactly. Sometimes you just got to be in charge if you're the parent.
All right, Dr. Joel Gator-Warsh, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Stay safe, everyone.
You too.